In regards to my sorority, being feminine means being well put together, knowing how to carry yourself in certain situations, being a good representative of the sorority. Being masculine means playing sports, being strong physically and like in your personality, not having a lot of emotion. My characteristics that make me feel most feminine are, I guess, my long hair, my really long eyelashes. It's really important for a woman to act feminine. I think women are very conscious of what they eat. They eat smaller portions. They try and eat healthier foods. Men, on the other hand, eat, I think their portion sizes are much larger than women. They eat more often, I think, than women do. They're not as self-conscious of what they eat or how they eat or how much they eat. The food that I associate most with being feminine is, well, I guess type of food is vegetables and like fruits, but I'm very unlikely to eat. The food that I associate most with masculinity is definitely like steak, and I'm actually more likely to eat that than I am to eat fruit. If I am eating around men, I don't really, it's not a conscious like thing that I eat differently. I really normally just eat whatever I want, and I think that men like to see women eat what they want. My ideal way a woman should look is they should look healthy, like for their height, and I've always thought that hasn't changed. I think women worry more about their like physical appearance or like their physique because they have a lot of pressure from men, from other women, and from society that like they should look a certain way. I definitely think there's pressure to look good in college, but it's no different than like when you're in high school. But being in a sorority, I think, amplifies it because you're under a lot more like scrutiny. You're representing your sorority, and a lot of people know who you are. So I think that the pressure to look good doesn't come from within my sorority. It comes from without. Like other girls in other sororities like give me pressure to look good, and means like girl power. Yeah, it means like girl power, like showing that you can handle things, that you can be in positions of power, like when it comes to doing things like for the sorority, and just keeping like presenting yourself in a good manner. Situation or activities.
When we do things, I think when we do things together, like when we do the all-timers walk,
or like when we do stuff together.
As a group, yeah. I feel like feminine.
When we do,
make me feel feminine. That just makes me feel.
I think living in a sorority house really plays a big role. I feel most feminine like when we're all hanging out in the chapter room and we're talking about like dates, and girls are doing each other's nails, which is totally cliche, but it happens, and like doing each other's hair in the bathroom before we go out, and it's like one big breeding zone of femininity, like shoved into one building.
I feel like whenever we get together and we're all like dressed up, all pretty,
that's
when I feel most feminine.
Or the getting ready process, the getting
putting
ready
on
process is
makeup
very
and stuff
borrowing clothes.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's not important for me to be.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, it's not too important for me to be feminine. I like to be feminine, but certain days I cannot look feminine or act feminine, and it doesn't bother me.
I don't really think about it at all.
Yeah.
Like some days I feel more feminine than others. Like I'll choose to wear, high-heeled boots instead of Converse, and it's just like it's on a day-to-day basis. But I don't wake up thinking, do I want to be feminine
I
today?
think it's what it means to be masculine, I guess, is like being strong and like physically strong and stuff like that.
Girls are always aware of what they're eating.
Yeah. They eat,
Or it
like,
depends on their emotions. Like their
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I think that what it looks like women always eat, or what it seems to be that women always eat, is like healthy foods, like salads or fruits
Or
or
a lot
vegetables.
of like ice cream and chocolate.
Yeah.
They do that too.
Yeah.
Whatever they want.
Men eat whatever
They
they
eat
want.
protein shakes.
And
We
stuff.
Men eat like
Way
big
more.
things, like hamburgers
And
all
frozen
the time.
food all the time.
Yeah.
I
Fries.
feel like they don't put nearly as much thought into what they eat as to what women eat. Chocolate
Yeah.
definitely
Chocolate?
associates most
Yeah,
with femininity
I
for
think
me.
so, yeah.
Yeah?
That
I
or
mean, it's
salad.
like-
I would have said salad. Because
Yeah,
I think
that's what I
like
would've
food.
said
When I
too.
think of food, I don't think of candy.
Right.
And like, I definitely am a chocolate eater, but I feel like most of the time, like if you go to a restaurant, you're gonna see a girl getting a salad. Like,
Yeah, like I have a
Yeah.
date tomorrow night, I'm definitely getting a salad. About once
Yes,
a month.
I love salad.
I don't eat salad
every
every
day.
day.
Remember?
Yeah, I eat
Yeah.
salad every day.
Unless we go on a salad
Salad
diet,
diet,
which
yeah.
fails. miserably.
Protein, meat.
Steak with masculinity, definitely.
very likely to eat steak.
I'll eat steak if it's presented to me, like at home. Absolutely.
I eat
Other
alone.
women.
I definitely prefer eating with men because
Why?
because I'm like I said, I'm not a big salad eater. When I'm with other women, they eat minusculely, and with men, it's like no matter what I eat, I'm eating less than they are.
Women, only because I enjoy the conversation
Yeah.
more.
Like you know, if I were eating with a boyfriend, I wouldn't feel as comfortable, or like someone I was just dating. But
Right.
like
Yeah.
the guys that I eat with are all my best friends,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like the same with girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men care about a woman's physique a lot.
Well,
According to most men, big boobs, skinny, and
Pretty face.
yes, pretty
Yeah.
face. But mostly, I think the body.
Mm-hmm.
I think my ideal feminine physique is someone who looks healthy for their height and someone who looks like well put together.
I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of women, and I can include myself in this, like, our ideal, like, physique is actually a lot skinnier than what men prefer.
Yeah.
Like, more stick-like, like, no shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that sucks, but...
I think shape is good.
of how women should look since high school has actually, I feel, gotten more unhealthy at college. I feel like because like we're all changing and like it's easier to gain weight when you're at college. Like I feel like you're more aware and you want to be skinnier than
I feel
you
like
were.
you're more stressed out.
Yeah.
Too, and you're like prone to be more unhealthy.
Mhm. Plus,
Women worry more about food, and I think it's because of men. Because men like are the ones who care about how women look, and so women care about what they put in their body because it affects how they look. Yes, it has changed since living in a sorority house. It hasn't changed since living in a sorority house from college. From going to college, I don't think it has changed.
If anything, I think since living in a sorority house, I eat less than I would living on campus because I don't have a meal plan. It takes me forever to cook. I usually just eat cereal or cheese.
yeah.
Wait, I try to. I think it's nice when we
together
eat
a lot.
together.
No.
I don't
I eat
know
alone.
Yeah, I
When
eat
I
alone.
can. I eat when I'm hungry.
I eat
like,
with
I'm not
people.
gonna wait for
I
people
eat
if I'm
with people
hungry.
all the time. Now that you're in a sorority.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been on more diets this year than
Failed diet.
Yeah, that too. But I don't know. I think I've gotten better living in this.
I think there's a lot of pressure to look good in college.
No.
I think it's greater when you're in a sorority to look good because I feel like you're on display. Like people know who you are. People like see you out all the time, and like if you don't look good, they're like, oh, look at that girl in that sorority. She looks horrible.
Yeah.
And guys are judging you at parties, I feel like.
The main social judgment, I think, comes from frat guys.
I don't think so. I think the main source of judgment comes from other girls in sororities.
Oh.
I agree.
No, I don't know. I think
Maybe
No, I
both.
totally agree.
I perceive eating disorders to be a huge problem on college campuses, especially this one.
I think all college campuses and high school.
I think eating disorders I think most of the time they're pre-existing. They come from, you start in like high school.
Yeah.
And you come to college and you still have one.
I feel like a lot develop here too, though, because it's like the first time that you can control what you're eating. Like, you're more independent.
No,
I don't think they're more prevalent.
I don't think eating disorders are more prevalent in sororities. In regards to my sorority, being feminine means being well put together, knowing how to carry yourself in certain situations, being a good representative of the sorority. Means like
Girl power.
Yeah, it means like girl power, like showing that you can handle things, that you can be in positions of power, like when it comes to doing things like for the sorority, and just keeping like presenting yourself in a good manner. My characteristics that make me feel most feminine are, I guess, my long hair, my really long eyelashes, activities.
When we do things, I think when we do things together, like when we do the all-timers walk,
or like when we do stuff
as
together.
a group, yeah. I feel like
feminine.
When we do,
Doesn't make me feel feminine. That just makes me feel
I think
part of a group.
living in a sorority house really plays a big role. I feel most feminine like when we're all hanging out in the chapter room and we're talking about like dates, and girls are doing each other's nails, which is totally cliche, but it happens, and like doing each other's hair in the bathroom before we go out, and it's like one big breeding zone of femininity, like shoved into one building.
I feel like whenever we get together and we're all like dressed up, all pretty,
that's
when I feel most feminine.
Or the getting ready process. The getting
putting
ready
on
process
makeup
is very
and stuff
borrowing
like that.
clothes.
Yeah.
It's really important for a woman to act feminine.
It's not important for me to be.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, it's not too important for me to be feminine. I like to be feminine, but certain days I cannot look feminine or act feminine, and it doesn't bother me. I think that the pressure to look good doesn't come from within my sorority. It comes from without. Like, other girls in other sororities like give me pressure to look good, and the main source of judgment, I think, comes from frat guys.
I don't think so. I think the main source of judgment comes from other girls in sororities.
Oh,
I agree.
no, I don't know. I think
I totally agree.
Yeah.
In my sorority, I think it's really important to be feminine because it shows that you're like strong and independent and a good leader. I think it's extremely important because you know, you're supposed to embrace who you are, and you know, I'm a woman for a reason, so I just want to embrace that. I prefer to eat with men. I feel more comfortable around them ordering what I would like to have.
Okay.
Yes, I feel like I order things more like burgers, steaks, those kinds of foods, as opposed to women. I normally like order a salad when I'm out with my girlfriends.
Okay.
Ideal way that a man thinks a woman should look is to be like maybe like a size 6, not emaciated and super thin, but not overweight and unhealthy. I think there's a balance in between. Like, you should be like a little bit more muscular and eating healthy. My ideal feminine physique would be a size 0 or 2. And when I was in high school, I actually had eating disorder, anorexia. I wouldn't eat for 3 days on end, and I feel like coming to college, I just feel so much more comfortable. I'm in a sorority with a bunch of girls that accepted me for who I am, and I feel like instead, all the stigmas out there, I feel like being in a sorority has had the opposite effect on me. I feel like I am so much more confident with myself.